Today I'm making a We Don't Talk About Bruno handmade soap. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chichi from the Chimaya Shop, and today I am very inspired by the movie Encanto, so I decided to do a Bruno Madrigal handmade soap. Here you see me mixing the batter of my usual recipes of oils and butters. I am not stick blending for a long time, just enough to mix the batch. I'm gonna separate my batch into a small portion first because my idea of a Bruno Madrigal handmade soap includes colors of light dark green, black, and sand. So today I'm using the walnut powder from Wholesale Supply Plus. I'm gonna mix into the small part of the soap batter. I am gonna lay it to the bottom of the mold to simulate sand. I'm gonna go ahead and add my fragrance oil, just enough for this batch, and then I'm gonna use my stick blender. Today I am using green tea and white pear from New Directions. This fragrance, it smells so good. It smells so fresh, and it really smells like relaxing, like you're drinking green tea with the sweetness of pear. I'm gonna stick blend until a thick trace or medium to thick trace, just because I'm gonna lay it that on the bottom of the mold like I said before, and then I am gonna mold it and try to make it into little grooves at the bottom of the soap mold because I want to simulate sand. Once I'm done pouring, I'll go ahead and put this soap mold to the side so it can set. Here I have my soap batter. I'm gonna split it into 4 paper cups. I have in mind 4 different colors for this soap. So just to make sure I don't mess it up, I decided to split it into 4 portions. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and put those 4 cups to the side. I am gonna grab the bigger portion of the soap batter. I'm adding a black mica. It's just a simple black mica. I got this black mica on Amazon about a year ago. I'll leave the link down below. My goal here is just to use this black part of the soap to pour it into the sand part of the soap. I want the sand and the black to be close together because I want to represent how Bruno was the enemy or the dark one for the family Madrigal. And if you watch the movie, I don't want to spoil anything, that's not 100% true. So I went ahead and added a little bit more black mica because I wasn't happy with the color. I want to make sure it's completely black or as dark as possible. Next, I am going to grab my 4 paper cups. I'm adding some titanium dioxide into 1 cup, and I'm adding this green, which I don't recall where I got it from, and I am using a neon green from Nature Soap. I'm adding a little bit to 1 cup and the rest into the other cup. My goal here is to make different shades of green. I'm also adding a little bit of titanium dioxide to one of the cups with the neon green. I'm gonna hand mix until everything is well incorporated, of course. Next, I will grab my batch mixed with the black mica. I'm adding a little bit of the fragrance oils, and I'm going to stick blend until I reach a medium to thick trace. Now that I've reached the medium to thick trace, I will put this bowl to the side, and I'm going to grab my soap mold that has the smaller portion with the sand and the walnut powder. I'm making deep grooves because I want to make sure that the black mica will penetrate into the part of the sand of the soap. You can use a spoon. Maybe if I use the spoon, I will have more of a smoother groove at the bottom, but I'm still pleased how the results came out at the end when I cut the soap. You can use other things to represent scent. I believe chamomile powder, maybe vanilla powder will also work if you like to make scent looking part of the soap. Now go ahead and pour slowly my smaller portion with the black mica. I want to make sure it penetrates each little groove. So I make sure I pour very slow and I pour into each. Now I'm grabbing this mixing device. This mixing device is usually to help make milk froth, I think, for coffee. I actually got this as a gift, but I'll leave the link down below on one that you can buy on Amazon. Also, I'll mix it until I can see a trace in the cups. Since the mixing device is so small and it's not as powerful as a stick blender, it does take a little while to reach the trace. But I'll make sure I'll mix all of them until they're well incorporated and well blended, and we will pour into our mold. Now that everything is blended and well mixed, I am going to grab my neon part of the soap and my titanium dioxide, and I'm going to pour them into a different cup, half and half, because my goal here is when I pour that paper cup with half and half into the soap mold is to make a drop swirl type of look inside the soap. So I'm mixing a couple different colors just to help me reach the look that I'm going for, which is different shades and different type of shapes inside the soap. Now I'm going to make new grooves into the black part of the soap. It's not 100% set, but I'm okay with it because I don't want the grooves to be too deep like I did for the scent part of the soap. Make sure you don't mold it or shape it too deep since you have another layer at the bottom of the soap. Now I'm going to grab my neon mica and my titanium dioxide, and I am going to pour into the black part of the soap. This will look like a drop swirl look, and I think it is perfect for what I'm going for. I had a little bit left over of the scent part of the batch of the soap, so I decided to use it in adding between the different shades and shapes of green just to represent more of Bruno since he needs scent to use his gift. As you can see here, I also added a little bit more of the black mica part of the soap. Now I'm doing a double pour with two different shades of green. I really want the soap to represent Bruno and his gift that he got from the Casa Madrigal. The thing about Bruno is that he's the outcast of the family, and there is always someone in a family that is the outcast. And I believe a lot of people can relate themselves to this movie because there's always an outcast, there's always the favorite one, there's always the good one. And this movie really represents that. And this is why I believe this movie is number one in the world, because everybody can relate themselves into one of those characters. If you have a Latin family, you know there's always a lot of drama. And if you don't fit into this type of environment, you always make it seem like you're the bad person, but it's hard for a Latin family to accept that you think a different way or you see things a different way. Anyways, I can keep talking about this forever. I come from a Latin family from South America, and there was a time in my life that I was the outcast because I wanted to be a certain way, not the way that they raised me to be, I guess. But time went by and I realized what's best for me and my family, and at the end of the day, family always comes first. As you saw at the end of the movie, we have to be respectful and accept our loved ones just for how they are. Now I'm adding some sea glass stones. I thought they would be great to represent when Bruno has a vision and he creates a glass portrait. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the black mica part on top of the soap, just, to do that little contrast with the black part of the soap. Now it's time to texture the top of the soap. I'm going to grab a ruler and measure out where I need to put the sea glass stones. My soaps measure 1 inch, so I use the ruler to place the stones in between each line of the inch mark. That's how I use to make sure I place in the correct place, so when I use my wire cutter, it's in the correct place. Once I'm done adding all the sea glass stones, I went ahead and grab a clear melting pour base, which I got a wholesale supply. Plus, I added on top of the soap also to represent glass, and now I'm adding a little bit of glitter. I think the glitter will give that special touch on the top. What do you guys think so far? I think the soap is coming out amazing. I cannot wait to cut it. It has been 24 hours since I made the soap. Now let's remove it from the soap mold. I have to say that the fragrance oil that I used did not accelerate my batch. It was lovely to work with. It gave me time to mix all my colors, and it also set in a very good rate. The soap is super hard after 24 hours. Now let's cut and see how it looks inside. I am so happy how the soap turned out. I really think it represents Bruno and his gift in the family Madrigal. What do you guys think? Please leave the comments down below. I cannot wait to see what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again.